These are very simple demands what we are asking. Please don't take this issue as a men versus women. Today, Save Indian Family Foundation, we have come up with some 7 points or 7 reforms which are very simple. They are not very simple reforms which can be easily implemented by state and central governments as well. If you want, I can read it out those as well. And when it comes to alimony reforms, because if you see the matrimonial issues, right, all tied up with the money. The domestic violence, the case put in just for money, and even 125, it's for money. In domestic violence, if you just take about the money, there will not be any cases filed. Just things are associated with money, just to pressurize. These things are killing India, actually killing Indian men. It's a male genocide. So there should be a reform in alimony. So there should be a change in the term wherein we say maintenance. So what kind of a term it is? So is that a spouse is a car or something which you have to maintain? That's totally wrong. So that term should be changed and it should be a spousal support or assistance. So that is our first demand. So and the second is the spousal support should be durational. The whatever today they call maintenance or what we have proposed which has to be spousal support or assistant, that has to be durational maintenance. For example, if the marriage is for 3 years odd or something, then it should be a duration of spousal support should be for 1.5 hour or so. And also, the application for alimony or for the spousal support should be dismissed at the first stage if the request comes from chartered accountant, MBAs, lawyer, doctor, engineers who are capable enough to maintain themselves. So provide spousal support only for them who cannot maintain themselves, who are physically or mentally incapable to maintain themselves. So that's the third demand. And the fourth is, today for spousal support, what we term it, even though it's our first demand, so we would like to call it as a spousal support. So today for spousal support, there are 4 to 5 different ways where you can seek that. Are we providing for 4 different peoples to have a 4 different application? Make it a single application. Make it a single application rather than attacking by 4 different applications. Because the parties are same. Issues are same. The request or prayer is same. So just have a single application for alimony or for spousal support. And the 5th one is on procedural forms. On procedural forms, we should make the application for remote hearing, provide video conferencing. Suppose if a person has to travel more than 300 kilometers for his court date, allow him to appear through video conferencing. Don't make that as a procedure aspect and ask him to file an application, and the opponent will file an objection, and then there will be an argument, and then there will be a judgment saying that whether video conferencing should be given or not. Don't do that. Please. If it is more than 300 kilometers, it's really hard for a person to travel for 6-7 different cases for the hearing. So just give that as an option. Just don't ask people to beg before court. At least you do understand, right? The person is traveling from 300 kilometers. Make that provisions so that he can appear through video conferencing. That's the 5th demand. And the 6th one, the right to work is guaranteed under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. So, by calling person every time to the court 4 to 5 times in a month, allow him to peacefully work. And also, moreover, most of NRIs are losing their visas. They can't come back to India due to this. And here, court will say that you are a proclaimed offender. We will issue a LOC, lookout notice. So as soon as he lands, he gets arrested. So they contribute like $100 billion every year. So arrange a separate bench for them to hear to hear their matters at least. So that's the fifth demand. And most of the youngsters who are aspiring to work outside India, and students, for example, you saw a lady, a girl less than 25 years of old, where she wants to pursue a graduation in US, but she is unable to do that. Why? Because of the criminal cases pending over here. So just make a speedy disposal of that and have a separate bench to hear the NRIs. And the seventh one marriage, one court. Bring that concept. There are totally 6-7 cases. All those 6-7 cases will be in different courts, in different places. Curtail that. Have one single window to address your issue. Parties are same. Issues is same. The reliefs may be different. You grant the relief in all. Just make a single window. Don't ask person to roam around the courts, run around the courts, from district to district, state to state, from court to court. Make a single window. In one court, take as many as application. Okay, 490, 88, DV, divorce, whatever it may be. Let there be a single window to address that issue, because it's one particular issue. Does that, suppose if these issues are in different courts and each court gives a judgment, and if that judgment overlaps one another, does that not become a shame of establishment? If one court acquits a man saying that there is no cruelty or woman, and 498A is not proved, and if that man acquits, and the divorce court grants divorce to wife based on the cruelty, does this not conflicting? Does this not shame of establishment, where one court is acquitting a man after 10-15 years, saying that you are not a criminal, you are acquitted and there were no proofs, you have not committed such cruelty, and in another court has already given a divorce judgment to the wife saying that husband has committed a cruelty on wife, so we are giving divorce to it. So two different extremes, contradiction. Does this not shame of establishment? So to address such kind issues, make a single window. One marriage, one court. And the eighth and ninth points what we are bringing up is regarding criminal justice reform. Stop all arrests under section 498A. Stop all arrests immediately, irrespective of men or women. So that should be done. And the ninth one, basically ensure that fairness and do not mechanically convert complaint to an FIR. Because these days they draft the complaint very beautifully, which attracts the section. So generally police are generally converting the complaints into FIR mechanically, without doing any kind of preliminary inquiry and without seeing that, okay, whether it's true or not. They are just filing the FIR. And moreover, the same FIR has been copy-pasted or mechanically converted into charge sheet. Why don't you do a fair investigation? Does that not other party needs common justice? You talk about natural justice, but today we are in an era where we need common justice. What does common justice mean? Common justice means the justice for both the persons. He is just an accused, not a guilty. Okay, so he also needs justice. The accused, whoever is there. It is not that only the one party has approached the police or for the court for the justice. Even other man's has to be heard. So we should look for common justice. Yeah, so these are the simple things what we have to bring up. And most of all, if you see the acts, right, Dowry Prohibition Act 1961. Today where we are starting up 2025. Do we really mean that 1965 Act still needs to be applied as is on 2025? There are a lot of change. Generation over generation have changed. These days we see every generation changing at 5 years of interval. Does that law made at 1961 does not need any reforms? If you look at out of countries, so in US or UK, generally every 5 years they evaluate the act what they brought in, and they bring reforms on that. They amend that They see what is working out in that particular act, what is not working out in that particular act, and they bring reforms on that. They bring amendment on that, which is suitable for that particular time. So this has to be done even in India as well.
So all these 9 demands, for whom are you trying to approach? Who is these 9 demands you're demanding from?
Basically, this can be taken up by the state level also, because we have state local laws. Even at state level, every state government can bring this up, and even central government can also bring this up.
No, I'm asking you this demands for judiciary or legislature?
It's for both judiciary and for legislature. These are very simple demands what we are asking, and it's not only okay you give video conferencing only for men or this. No, give all 9 for both men and women. Please don't take this issue as a different thing, saying that men versus women. Family issues today, the marriage institution has to be saved.